Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. This is 𝗟𝗘𝗧𝗦 from MassMailer. Today I'm going to talk about the drip sequence emails to Salesforce campaign and how to send that using MassMailer. And again, this is a new feature that we developed in the new version 2.52. It is packaged with that new version, but you would still have to do a little bit of a customization. So you don't have to build everything from scratch, but you still have to configure and customize a little bit of things based on your specific requirements. And I'll go through what this feature is all about at a high level. And I'll also show you some screens, and we'll walk through the same thing in Salesforce as well. And again, you still have to use the flow builder. So we have packaged flow for this, and that's called MassMailer drip campaign flow template, but you would want to clone or save that as a different flow and then recreate, not recreate, customize that according to your needs. So by default, I think there are 3 drip sequences, but if you needed more, again, you will have to take help from MassMailer team. That's again done professional services cost-based. So we would provide that information, end of this webinar. So what you could do with this drip, so basically it's gonna send drip sequence on a daily basis for a specific number of campaign members. So this is more for prospecting purposes, so it's done in a different way. But again, based on what you're looking for, we can certainly help you configure this in the right manner. Okay. So let's say you have, 10,000 campaign members just to start with in any campaign, and you're trying to send, say, 500 every single day. So you can set that number. Okay, I want to send daily 500 because it's prospecting purposes that you're trying to send, and pick a specific time when the drip is gonna be triggered for that 500, and then it would automatically pick that 500 records from the campaign, and it keeps sending those drip sequence emails for those selected campaign members. You don't need to manually select though. You just have to set the number. Hey, daily I want to pick 500 from this campaign and put them in a drip. And the drip could be 3 emails, 5 emails, 7, whatever that you're trying to send it. That's not a problem. You can set that sequence. And also you can have different types of campaigns, meaning it could be a nurture drip, or it could be maybe a trial. You're offering a trial and you need to send a drip. So whatever it may be, you can define different types of campaigns, and then again, accordingly, you will have to customize the flow so that it picks up the right campaign type. And you can start and stop the drip sequence. That's possible, the campaign level. And also, if you want to track all the activity, that's again given at the campaign level. You should be able to track all that activity. And again, statistics and all of that, as usual, the way MassMailer does it, you can track all of that. So this is just to show you what you would be setting on the drip on the campaign Salesforce campaign. As you can see, some of the standard fields in Salesforce, such as active, flag, and type, and status. And you would mention what those templates are. If you have 3 or more than 3, we have the custom fields defined up to 5. But if you needed more, you can always add it, no problem. And then when it comes to the sender settings, again, it's similar to what you would do in an outreach. You have to give the name, email address, reply to, and if you have IP pool, you can mention that. And then how many campaign members daily you want to send to, that number you have to put there, and then you can also schedule it in a specific date and time, maybe start it on a date and time, or you can also do it in the flow. It's up to you because it's just one time setting. You're not really setting it all the time. So you could do it in the flow as well and just start it at that time. That's also possible. This is just to show you that this is how it looks, any flow. And then if you're going to set the schedule at the flow level, that's just to start when the start date. But again, it would be sent on a daily basis, the frequency. And that's configurable, just to let you know. And then if you have 3 or more, how many ever paths you have, again, if you want to set it days after, this is just a demo that you can, for the sake of demo, we had minutes, but you could have, the sequence, drip sequence, if you have, say, first email, second and third email, the second email can trigger after 3 days and third email can trigger after 7 days. That's something that you could certainly define. This just to show you that the apex action, how it looks when you're actually sending an email. And again, you don't really have to know this in detail, but if you're an admin or if you're familiar with flows, so you kind of understand what it means. So you basically have to pass certain properties to the apex action, such as the from name, from address, IP pool, and you're sending it to the campaign members and what template and stuff like that. So that's again configured in the flow. And this is the general email activity that you would see in MassMailer. On the right-hand side, you can see the activity history. And then the MassMailer email events, again, tracked at the campaign level. And the campaign member status also keeps changing based on the email events that we capture. If you ever wanted to abort a campaign, there's an option on the campaign itself. You can just abort it. And then you can also configure your own campaign types just to show you. You just go to the campaign and then select the campaign type field. And then you can add more values, but you still have to change your flow as well based on the type of the campaign, what type of an email that you're going to trigger. Because basically every flow that you're going to define is tied to a specific campaign type. So if you have, say, 3 campaign types, then you would end up having 3 flows. That's just one-on-one mapping. So I'll show it to you real quick how this actually looks in Salesforce. And you can type in any questions you have, and I'm going to go to the questions once I'm done with this. So let's say you want to define a campaign, like you would just go create a campaign the way you do it by clicking on that new, and you add your campaign members. That's the standard process. And where would you actually define the drip campaign details, right? So these are the things, these are the fields that you have to enable. The active flag and the status should be in progress, and then type, and then the drip template. So you want to configure these 3 and also have all this information. If you want, I can go in the edit mode. Let's see. Yeah. So basically, if you want to see the status, so you got to put that in the in progress. And if you have more than one, the drip campaign types, you can select what it is. And then you have to enable the templates by giving the API name and this from email and all of that. So you want to make sure that you enter all these details ahead of time, but don't select the in progress and active. You can do it at the end. Whenever you actually want to trigger the drip, that's when you can enable that. But again, you will have the specific date when you want to kick up the drip. So ultimately, that's the catch. It'll trigger only from that day onwards. And that's the simple configuration what you would do on the actual campaign itself. And if you ever wanted to abort this campaign, this abort it option there. And then if I want to take you to the flows, again, you would basically go to your Salesforce setup and type in flows and go to flows. There is MassMailer drip campaign flow template. So you would actually want to clone this and then configure or customize it based on your needs. And then this is the customized flow, which has the specific information about your specific drip, the campaign type and how many drip sequence emails you're going to send, when you're actually going to send. So for example, this flow actually starts that time and how many paths you have. This is the criteria, how you actually want to run the steps. So some of this can be changed, but not all. So such as the drip campaign type. Campaign type can be changed if you want to customize that. That's no problem. And again, you don't want to do this if you're not familiar with Flow. So you definitely want to take help from MassMailer team. And then the drip sequences are defined in a different flow that's called sub-campaign. And then if you needed more than 3, so again, we have to customize this flow. By default, I think we have 3 emails. As you can see, this has scheduled paths, like 3 of them. This is just showing that you can configure, it could be days. It doesn't need to be minutes or even weeks or months. I think there's no weeks, but you can do days and then months. So those are the options you have. And also hours if we needed to send it after a few hours. That's possible. So this is, and then again, this is just an example. There are 3 up there, as you can see. And then, and how do you actually look at, so this is the main drip campaign, and this has the sub campaign. So every day, it's and again, example, if you're sending out 500 every day, so every day there is a sub campaign that is created, which will have 500 campaign members. And that would have the drip sequences at 3 drip emails, so it will have 3 in the scenario. And then MassMailer email status gets tracked there, and the activity again gets tracked here. Then the standard Salesforce campaign members status also keep changing. So this is a standard functionality, and this gets created automatically. You're not creating anything here. The sub campaigns are created by MassMailer automatically, so nothing you're doing. And all the statistics and everything also get captured. If you wanted to, see the stats, you can check it individually. But if you want to do a roll-up, we currently don't do auto roll-ups. That's something that we can certainly look into. But individual campaign statistics you can do on a daily basis. But if you want to do a roll-up, you could always create a custom report that actually goes cumulative basis. We may package a report in the next release, which will have a cumulative statistics. That's possible. So this is just to show you one sub-campaign, and this is related to the parent campaign. Again, you're not creating any sub-campaign from your side. We make it easy. You would just create your main campaign and then add campaign members. And then you would just update certain fields on this campaign, such as what templates you're using and the from name and all of that. And then select these 3 fields. That's all what you're doing in the front end. And then just save it, and it automatically starts the drip. So from a user perspective, it's not complicated at all. It's like, just setting up your campaign, and that's it. And then rest of it is all driven by the flow in the backend because we already configure based on your requirements. And how do you define the campaign types? Quite easy. Again, you would this would be done by the admin again. Just want to show you where you would define the campaign types. So go to the campaign fields, and let's say think type maybe. So this is just one that we packaged. And then if you want to add, all you would do is click on new and then type in whatever values that you want to add, such as, new trial drip or something. And then you can add more if you wanted, prospecting drip for finance or something, right? So you can just customize the campaign types. And this needs to be, again, aligned with your flows. So each campaign type will have its own flow. All we would do is just clone what you already have defined for one campaign type and then customize it if you needed more or less number of drip sequence. That's something that we could do. So that's pretty much it. Again, we're not going in detail on the customization. That's something that we can really quickly take care of it since it's already a package flow. The time that we spend on the actual customization is not going to be that much. Okay. All right, any questions? So the features are available for a sandbox preview right now. That's available. If you just go upgrade your sandbox, it's available. Like MassMailer.io/upgrade is the link, and you could actually just upgrade your sandbox. Please do not upgrade your production yet because we're still fixing certain issues because it's a brand new release. But try to just upgrade your sandbox and then play with this. And we would be having extensive documentation on this. And it's available. Release notes are also available. That's something that we're gonna send it across in the coming weeks. The release notes and everything will be sent out. So can the target campaign members fields be set to all? Does it have to a specific number? So we thought about it. You can just give the actual number, how many ever campaign members are there, and it would just send in one go. We're also thinking maybe if we just put like some special number, which we have not really thought what it would be, maybe it will send to all. Right now it takes a number, so just mention whatever the number is, the maximum. If it's having 10,000 in the campaign, if you want to send only one, that's okay. Just say 10,000. It would just create only one, and it would stop. Right? You can abort it after that. That's the trick. So there's another question. It says, what if you add a new campaign member after 1 week? After the drip campaign starts, will the new campaign member receive the first drip email template? That's true. So it would be picked up based on, let's say initially you have 10,000 campaign members, and you basically set the campaign members, the target campaign members is 1,000. It would run for 10 days and it exhausts all the campaign members. Now you added maybe another, I don't know, another few thousand. So it would again pick up every day 1,000 and sends emails to those remaining ones. Unless you really stop or abort that campaign, it would still try to trigger anything new in the campaign. It would try to trigger an email. So basically, it would just keep going unless you really abort that campaign. Are there only 3 template fields we can choose from? No. So by default, or when we packaged it, we added only 3, but you can always add more. So I think on the campaign, we have added 5 template fields. But if you want to add more, you can always add a custom field, and that custom field can be referenced back into the flow. So that's where the configuration and the customization would come in handy, because every customer needs a different. Some may want only 3, some may want 5 or 7, 10. So we just could not go with unlimited. So we had to pick a number. So we picked only 3, but we can also add as per your needs. We can add or reduce. That's something that we can discuss with you and capture that as requirements when we are actually trying to do the customization for you. Any other questions, anyone? Okay. Seems like no more questions there. So we'll just go back to the presentation real quick. Okay, so these are all various packages that we have. Again, you don't need to go monthly option. You can just do one time. So based on your requirements, we would tell you, hey, this is the approximate time it may take. And again, we are always going to charge you monthly base. The hourly basis. It's once you buy a package, that's a package. But if you need more hours, we're going to just charge you. How many hours we take more, we're going to charge you based on that. And we charge a very nominal price, $100 per hour. So that's industry-wise, it's quite nominal. And again, we would have to get in a call, figure out what your requirements are. Based on that, we're actually gonna let you know the approximate estimates. Okay. Then any final questions, anyone? Seems like no more questions. Again, thank you so much for joining the webinar. You would be receiving an email with the recording for this webinar too. And this is a weekly webinar that I do on Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific. The next week's topic would be announced. We still have 2 more flows that we had to go through, and we would pick one of them, and then we'll make an announcement which one it is. And we are getting very close to the final webinar series for this new release. And then after which we're going to make an official announcement that it's ready for the sandbox preview with the official release notes and everything. And then it will take maybe a few weeks for us to really get it to like production level. Give it like a month or so. Hopefully, we will have it ready for the production too. But let's just start with the sandbox preview now, and we definitely need your feedback and then get ready for the live as well in the coming weeks or so. Thank you so much once again for joining the webinar today. Have a good weekend. And any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You have my information here. And you can also reach us out on the phone number given here and the email address. Thank you again. Take